This time on the show, Darren checks out the i3 Detroit hackerspace. I've got the easiest way to transfer files over HTTP, and Jenn Cutter joins us with a little Nintendo DSi XL hacking. No, really this time. I'm Shannon Morse, you're watching Hak5.
Yeah, hook me up, I'm ready.
This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by Domain.com. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain, Domain.com. GoToAssist Express. Try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days at gotoassist.com/Hak5. And Verizon Droid apps.
Really graceful, that's the way that we do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Warnick on drums. I have an excellent show for you guys tonight. Of course, this is the LateHak Show with Hak5. I know that you may have been confused about your RSS download, but this is the show tonight, and boy do we have a good one for you. Probably some other hacks and other stuff that I really haven't figured out, but it's a pre-production issue and we'll worry about that later. But let me tell you guys about this week, because as you know, this is week 3 of Hack Across America. I'm here in none other than the 313. I'm in Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. Detroit, can we hear it? Thank you. Now, a little difficult getting here. As you guys know, I've been in Toronto for quite a while. Difficult leaving that city. Absolutely beautiful. Love that place. Just got into town and had a little problem on the 401 West. Decided that it would be a good idea to stop at the services and leave my wallet on my tank bag and then drive off. And then I'm riding down the road having a good time. It's me and the monkey. And then I realized that there's a guy pulling up next to me going like, and I'm like, yeah, I know, it's the monkey, it's cool, oh no, uh-oh, I probably forgot something. So I pull over, and I'm checking the monkey, you know, my monkey's all good, it's an important thing to check on the side of the road, and so are my luggage, so I figure I'm fine. I'm about to leave until some awesome French Canadians. I gotta say thank you so much to Leo. That was amazing for you guys to stop and say, dude, your wall's like 150 meters that way. And long story short, go out there and all my cash is gone, no worries. But I got half of my credit cards and I'm gonna have to check this out on the B-roll, 60% of my driver's license. And for some reason, they actually let me into the country with this. So thank you, border guards. Of course, they didn't check my monkey, and nor did they on the way into Canada. Just don't declare anything. As you guys know, the monkey is a very important, pivotal piece of equipment on this trip. He does hide the 5th of Jack, just in case. I learned that on a trip to Delaware and found out very quickly what a dry county is. So we have a great show for you guys here in the 313. I'm checking out some of the latest from GM. This is the new Hummer with the Nerf action, wielding that machine gun. Very, very cool. And we have Nick Britsky from i3 Detroit. I'm sorry, that's Britsky, and I'm now firing my teleprompter guy. And yeah, so stick around for more from i3 Detroit, but first let's go ahead and hand it over to Shannon for this week's trivia.
This week's trivia is, with the North American release of March 28, 2010, the Nintendo DSi XL features a 93% larger screen and 1% higher screen resolution. Enter for your chance to win this premium, deluxe edition, authentic animated GIF recreation. Or some killer brand new Hak5 stickers. I don't know, your choice. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor.
Today I'm registering the nomadmonkey.com and setting up a blog to highlight the adventures of this plush primate as I motorcycle across North America. And as you know, I am a big fan of Domain.com's low prices and quality service. They really are the easy and affordable way to get your site online. So with my site registered and deluxe hosting plan set up, I've head over to the hosting control panel under the My Services tab. Here I find the application vault where I can get one-click installs of popular open source software. There's plenty available, from blogging to collaboration, galleries and e-commerce, wikis, and more. I'm fond of WordPress, so I'll select it and click install. Then choose the domain and select my options like the install URL and password. Next, finish, and there you go. My blog's online. And any application vault software can not only be installed, but also upgraded in a similar fashion, taking the headache out of platform management. And best of all, you can experience the fast DNS and solid hosting of domain.com while getting 15% off at checkout when you use coupon code HAK5. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain. Domain.com.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
All right, D.
I'm having some of the, have you tried this? This is the
i3 brew?
Yeah, i3 brew is
Gotta
pretty
have
good. So, is it true that Detroit is the only place where you're going to find a parking lot that actually needs to be mowed?
Oh, you know.
And what, is it Warren County? Is that the one that I passed through?
Wayne?
Wayne County. No, I cannot
God.
believe this. You know, and I should have been looking for this sign. Let me pull up, guys. Can we pull up the pic? Thank you. Yes, this is actually the county that I just drove through, and if we scroll down here, it is an automation alley county. Welcome to Detroit. We hope you survive. Made it tonight, though. I survived. All right. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and introduce our first guest. It is Nick Britsky. Nick, this is phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate you building a beautiful set for me. I was not expecting this when it came down to i3 Detroit.
No, thanks. I mean, we've been working on this for probably about 3 weeks now, and it really shows. Yeah.
Really? Because it looks like you maybe spent a half hour, to be honest.
All right. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I held it against you. You should have seen the first Hak5 set. Seriously, I just threw a king-size red bed sheet on a wall and threw up a poster and said, it's a set.
Well, see, we're supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Week, so that's why we got the pin going.
And I am a fan of breasts.
There you go.
So there we go.
Cheers. There you go.
All right. So i3 Detroit, how long have you guys been doing this here?
So i3 Detroit is, wow, we've only had a physical space since October 1st. This is actually our second space. We outgrew that one. We're on 8,000 square feet right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think we're one of the biggest. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not the biggest, but we're one of the biggest.
Yeah, you could fit like 5.5 hack houses in that. And we had 4 people living there full-time producing a show.
Well, you know what? The invitation's open.
The invitation, all right. You know, as long as you keep this up, this is awesome. Now, I got to ask, though, because I am a little bit new to this whole new phenomenon of hacker spaces, and I'll have you explain that in a sec, but how does... I'm used to 2600 meetups, DEF CON chapters, PLA if you really want to go old school. How does this differ from something like that?
Same concept. Just imagine that as opposed to those guys meeting for a weekend or a couple days or even a couple hours, you know, we're open 24/7, 365 days a week. You know, i3 Detroit, you get your key card, you come in whenever you want, midnight, 2 a.m., you know, 5 o'clock. But yeah, guests are welcome too. So really, you come in whenever you want, you build whatever you want. And it's just open to the general public. It's great. That
is epic. Now, this seems like a new phenomenon. Is this, I mean, how long has this been going on? Because it seems like lately I'm hearing more and more about hacker spaces springing up here and there.
You know, in the U.S., it's about like 2008 is when it started. But really in Europe, it's been going on for years, like 10 plus years. I mean, they figured this stuff out a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, you know, they've also been at a lot of things a lot longer than us.
Yeah,
but, you know. So what constitutes a hackerspace? What's the typical thing that you'll find?
So really a hackerspace is any gathering of people, you know, mostly in some sort of physical space. They're getting together, they're hacking stuff, they're working on coding, they're working on physical things. And, you know, i3 is a little bit different where we just have, you know, so much more space and we're able to focus on a lot more disciplines. Whereas some places, you know, they focus on coding, they focus on physical things, they focus on cooking. I mean, it just depends on the space you're at.
Right, but the difference is it's a place that's not your apartment, your house.
Exactly.
Know, where everybody
it's not your
congregates.
house. You got it. You can share your tools, you can share resources, and
you're not upsetting the wife or the girlfriend.
You still can be doing that, because certainly I've done that.
Because there are plenty of chicks here already, so that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Yeah. So what makes i3 unique? Or actually, before we, what does i3 stand for? Come on, that's got to stand for something.
No, i3 Detroit, it's innovation, inspire, and imagine. And you know, again, we're started like last April. We've barely been around for a year, and we've already attracted 36 members.
So what makes i3 unique, though? Because you guys are downtown Detroit. I'm sure there's lots of things at your disposal. And
sure, and you know what? Detroit's obviously had its struggles, and you know we're not like right downtown Detroit, but kind of our hope is to slowly move down there. We're right outside of 8 Mile. And basically what we want to do is kind of do our part, to make Detroit a little bit cooler, a little bit hipper, because people are leaving. There's not a lot of stuff to do in Detroit. We want to be one of those things to do in Detroit that's cool and fun.
So what kind of cool stuff would you, if you were into making stuff, what kind of stuff could you make here? I mean, I know that you guys have like different labs set up. It's very like walking into an ad hoc community college where there aren't very many rules, or I'm sure you guys do have rules.
There's a couple rules, yeah. I mean, we think of ourselves as like the community center of the future. And the goal is to be able to build whatever you want. So we have all sorts of little pods. We have a full kitchen. We have a chem lab, electronics, crafting, metal shop, woodworking. You're in our film studio right now. We have a robotics setup. We have meeting space, which we actually found out, as opposed to doing a treehouse, which we were planning, it might actually become an AT-AT now.
What?
Yeah, we're looking at this thing right here.
Like an AT-AT is an AT-AT?
Yeah, like semi full size.
Like Lucas isn't going to have a problem with this?
We'll hopefully get them sponsor.
Okay. That would be epic.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do a great job. I mean, you're talking
Thank
about the podcast studio, and you have better lighting than Hak5's ever had in any of our sets. This is
it's all about Craigslist. Craigslist, you can find anything on there if you just look a little bit well.
That is so true. So how does somebody get involved in something like this? You just show up or what?
Check out the website. Let's say you're not in Detroit. I would go check out hackerspaces.org. There you can find hackerspaces all over the U.S. At one point, I think there were 200 last we checked. Mitch Altman from Noisebridge said there's like 400 now.
Yeah, really?
So, go find your local one. If you're in Detroit, check us out at i3detroit.com, follow us on Twitter, contact at i3detroit.com. I mean, find your local hackerspace, get involved.
Yeah, and you guys are also involved with the local community?
Absolutely. So we have a FIRST robotics program that we're working on having a whole year program. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, PenguCon, which is a local convention. We're also involved with Maker Faire. And Maker Faire is going to be huge. It's normally in San Francisco, and they're going to come to Detroit this year. Nice. We think it's partly because of us, but we can't take all that credit.
Okay. Well, what are you guys doing at Maker Faire?
So we're going to have a whole huge setup with hackerspaces. We actually contacted all the hackerspaces to do a Power Wheels race. So we're going to modify like old school Hasbro Power
from
Wheels.
The 80s.
Totally.
Oh my God, dude, I totally wanted one of those.
No, totally. And I don't want to take all the credit because actually PS1.
But like adult. Adult
oh yeah, that's
the last time I tried to sit in one, it just didn't have enough juice.
No, and that's what's great. Well, yeah, so we're gonna hack them. So we're gonna put 24-volt power sources in there, motor controllers, metal frames, real tires, and then PS1 put together this whole course. We're getting hay bales and mapping out a course, and yeah, it's gonna.
Where are you doing that?
Henry Ford Museum.
Okay.
July 31st, August 1st. Come check it out.
That makes so much sense. Detroit, and you've got Power Wheels.
Totally. Hacking the Power Wheels.
Hell yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for putting together this amazing set. Thank you for putting me up for the night here at Hack Across America. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick Britsky. We will be back in just a moment. First, we got to thank one of the sponsors that keeps us on the air. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
This is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really...
Raise your hand if you've ever had to transfer a file to somebody that was way too big for email. Yeah, me too. It's a big problem, and there's tons of ways to solve it. So today, I'm going to check out some hassle-free options. There's no web services, no accounts, and they're the easiest way for the other person on the other end of the line. And before you guys start emailing me, I'm going to check out some obvious choices. First off, we have Dropbox, which is simple and elegant, and it synchronizes folders between Windows, Mac, Linux, and your mobile devices. It even does web storage with some nifty new APIs. And by the way, we use this for the Hak5 pre-production videos to check all those out and pass them along to each other. And then you have SugarSync, which is kind of like Dropbox, but it has a little bit more functionality. And there's FireZilla Server, which, FTPs have been around since 1971, and if you must use this inherently insecure protocol, at least grab a decent open source server like FireZilla Server. And last but not least, we have uSendIt, RapidShare, Mega Upload, etc., etc., etc. All of those ones that you've ever heard of. You upload it, they download it, and you try to ignore all of those upsells that are on every single website when you try to download whatever file it is. Why double your efforts uploading and downloading when you can just share a file straight from your computer? Or, better yet, have them upload directly to your hard drive. Yeah, that sounds nice to me. HFS File Server is a lightweight Windows file server with HTTP, so you can access it right in your browser. And it works right out of the box. Yeah. It's highly customizable with HTML templates, so if you want to spend time making it pretty, it's very easy to do so, which is something I like to do, because I'm kind of like a raccoon. I like shiny things, pretty things, sparkly. And it features a bandwidth control, so it won't slow down your capture the flag insta-game matches or your zombie killing sprees, like what I do like every night. Zombies. Love just killing the zombies. Oh yeah, and it updates dynamic DNS service in case your public IP changes, which is great. It's free and open source, which is something that I personally adore. So let's check out how this works. Alright, I've connected to the Hak5 Cloud Lab using GoToAssist Express, and I've transferred over the HFS.exe. It's a single executable, there's no install, you just double click and there you go. I love portable apps. Don't you love portable apps? I love portable apps. Alright, let's check this out. I'm going to right click and add a folder. Let's pick one of these and now we'll choose Real Folder. You can see our server is running on the default HTTP port 80, but our ISP is evil and blocks port 80. So let's change that to 8000 by clicking here. And then here in the address bar, we'll see our local area network IP address. If we copy this into a browser, you'll see the files are ready to download, but that's not going to work so well for our friends online. So to find our public IP address, click Menu, IP address, and find External address. Now that the address is updated, we just need to port forward from our router and share the URL. And if you want to make folders writable so your friends can upload directly to your disk, this is what you do. You right-click the folder, choose Upload and Upload for Accounts, and choose Anyone, or Create an Account. Now, one of my personal favorite features of HFS is, as a client, you can download tools like wget or browser extensions like Download Them All to quickly grab files. And HFS will tar a folder for you, and that's just scratching the surface. Unfortunately, HFS File Server is Windows only. Yeah, I know. It can work with Linux under Wine, but if you really want something cross-platform and you don't mind opening up a terminal, try Droopy. Droopy is a Python script that can run with Windows, Mac, or Linux. It has a similar upload function to HFS File Server, but it won't share a directory of files. Though it is really good for opening up just a quickie website for one of your friends to upload you a file. It's dead simple to use. You just create a directory and run Droopy. There you go. And you can specify a message with either TAC-M or a picture with TAC-P. Once it's running, you go to http://localhost:8000 for your public address, and you share that with your friend. So what do you think? Do you use any of the common ones, or have you checked out HFS File Server or Droopy? I personally definitely like Droopy. It's very cute. And if you have any information for me, any good tools, make sure to email me at feedback@hack5.org. And this Snubs Report wouldn't be made possible without the help of GoToAssist Express. Have you ever tried to help someone through a technical issue over the phone without access to their computer? It's a nightmare, and the last thing you want to do is waste time driving to fix the problem in person. GoToAssist Express is the easiest way to remotely view and control another computer, PC, or a Mac. With GoToAssist Express, you can instantly connect to a customer's computer and fix technical issues on the spot. Service more clients, more efficiently, more affordably. And Citrix is allowing you to try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For this special offer, you must visit gotoassist.com/hack5. That's gotoassist.com/hak5 for a free trial.
Find more great tips like these at revision3.com/GoToAssistExpress. So what could possibly be better than Nintendo DS Homebrew? Really? Nintendo DS Homebrew 93% bigger?
Exactly. That's all you need.
That's all you need. And is there something more to it? We're talking about the DSi XL.
There you go. Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's quite a bit.
And so is there something more to it than just being large?
It is large. It is heavy. It does not come with a wrist strap, so I have my Ghetto Fabulous Wii wrist strap that I have reappropriated for this thing. It's Nintendo. It's good, just because I know it's not going to break.
All right. For those of you that are
You know, when you're...
Trying to throw your DS across the room, of course.
It happens. But yeah, so we have the light here for comparison in the wonderful, awesome, fabulous Nerf case. I've actually dropped my DS in this case, and it has survived.
That is a tough case.
You get to hold this one up.
Wahoo! All right, so yeah, it is significantly bigger. But what are the advantages of going with this as opposed to because doesn't that mean that the DSi is going to get cheaper now or no?
No, they haven't really changed anything.
Okay. Well,
but the one thing that this loses is you have no GBA slot. So this is only for DS games and DSi games.
Okay, and what does that mean for homebrew though? Because I know that was important at one point in time when it came to homebrew, right?
Yes, for the DSi, some of the DSi's, you update them and you have newer firmware, and that locks out some of the older cards, some of the R4s, some of the old super cards. So you have to pay attention now as to what DS you have and what kind of card system you're buying.
Right, because I was a big fan of the R4. I mean, it's like you can get it for like $4 if you
They're
look in the right
cheap.
place. Yeah.
Actually, most cards now, there's one card that's really expensive, the Psycho DS, but depending on what you want, maybe you want that level of customization. But for most people, these days I'd recommend the Ace card.
We should probably explain that when we're talking about cards here, we're talking about carts that would go in your DS that would allow you to plug in typically a micro SD card with your own homebrew video games on it, community built, non-sanctioned by Nintendo. I don't think this is going to ruin your warranty.
No, that's the best part about these. These are soft mods. When I did my original DS hack, I was opening up the back, I'm kind of joining two things together, and that warranty was
Jen with the soldering iron.
Woo! Yeah, it is a miracle that no one got killed. There's a reason I go for soft mods, not hard mods.
Right on. So what's the difference now as far as the homebrew is concerned with... So we're saying that now that we don't have this slot here, is that going to impact our ability? You said there's some new carts.
Exactly. It's a slightly different approach. This is just like a one-card solution, but back in the day on the Lite, and if you have a Lite, you can still do this two-card solution. So if you have something, in this case I am using the Super Key. This does what I did with my old DS. This just bypasses the protection so that now you can go straight to your card 2 solution, your slot 2 solution, and now I can run things off the GBA card.
Okay, so
and in this case, I'm using a regular SD card because I've had this for many, many years.
So basically, all this KeyPass thing does is
the
DS boots off of this, and then it just passes it over to this cart, and then you can run your homebrew.
Exactly. And on my old DS that I kind of flashed, I wouldn't need the pass key. I would just stick this in the slot. Now, the one advantage for the two-card system is that this plays the GBA ROMs as well. So you get the GBA homebrew and the DS homebrew. These days, you just get the DS homebrew.
That's right. There's plenty of it out there.
No
some really good stuff. So you're saying that the Ace cart is the way to go now? Is that going to work for DSi, DSi XL?
Depends on your DSi firmware, but I can guarantee that it does work on the DSi XL. In Japan, in Europe, and North America, you are totally covered. It's been confirmed in all regions.
All right, how do we set it up?
Well, first of all, we have to make sure. See this little eye there?
Yes.
That eye is important. Make sure you get the Ace Card 2i. If you go to the Ace Card website, they're going to have a list of approved retailers, and thankfully, they have them in just about all regions. So this meant that I could buy my card from a Canadian company and avoid customs.
Oh yeah,
I like avoiding customs.
Yeah.
So make sure you get the approved one. Make sure it's the I. Sometimes it'll have a sticker. It'll say DSi compatible, and that is the one that you want.
Okay, and I'm assuming there's probably tons of knockoffs, just like there were with all previous cards.
There are lots of fake supercards. I had a fake supercard once. It lasted me about a week and a half.
All right. So what's the trick to getting it set up for the DSi XL? Is there anything that you have to change, or you just pop it in and you're ready to go?
If you're using an Ace card on an older Game Boy, you can just run the original loader and off you go. You go to the Ace card website. They'll have the loader for download in their download section. Put it on your computer, put it on your SD card, run it when you got it in your Game Boy, and you're good to go. Now, to get it to work on the DSi XL, there is a patch for it, which you can also download from the Ace card site. But here's where it gets a little tricky. You can't run that directly on the XL. If you put the card in to your XL, when it comes up to the menu screen, you're going to see the regular Ace card logo, because it'll bring up the logo when you put in the card.
Okay.
If you see that logo, it's not going to work. It's going to say incompatible. It's just going to say put in a real cart.
Ooh.
You can't use it. So I had to run it on my DS Lite, run the update, and then put it in here, and it works perfectly. And you'll
So
know.
you're going to need an original DS to get this going?
If you have a friend with a DS, borrow it for about 20 seconds, because that's
Okay.
all you're going to need it for.
All right.
And then you can run it out, and then it's actually going to show up as Danny Phantom. So it's going to look like you're playing a THQ Danny Phantom game. But so just ignore that, because when you load it up, you will see that it is the Ace card. Now you can.
So
use
this is Ace Card's operating system, because you're saying that this doesn't come with anything, just the chip itself.
Yeah, you're
It's
buying
just
the
got an
card.
Yeah, right. The card doesn't have any memory. You've got to provide your own micro SD.
Yes.
And then what do you put on the micro SD to make it actually work?
Well, they have this, like they have their own firmware that you can use, but don't.
Really?
There is a better open source solution that is very awesome, and I'm always going to say this wrong. What do you think? Accio?
Accio.
Let's call it Accio. Much
Works for
apologies
me.
to the dev team if they do not like the pronunciation. But this is open source. You can skin it. It's really gorgeous. Folder system. You can organize your games however you want.
Oh, you can have nested. And
You can have nested things. It's
Nice.
all good. So you can separate your apps, separate your things. There's an IRC client, which is fun to use if you
Spiffy.
have everything set up for it. And
So what
yeah.
are some of the other features that you like about the Accio? I mean, other than it being skinnable.
Oh yeah, I like making things pretty, I will confess. But my favorite feature is a soft reset. Back in the day, even with the SuperCard, the original ones, if I wanted to switch what game I was playing, I'd have to turn it off, turn it on, go into the menu again, pick the other game. Now, when I'm done playing a game, all I have to do, L, R, A, B, and down at the same time.
Okay, so
Soft
that's its
reset.
version of Control-Alt-Delete.
Exactly.
Sweet.
Very,
All right.
very perfect.
All right. So what can we do now that we've got set up with the Accio open source firmware on our card here?
Well, now everything is very, very simple. Back in the SuperCard days, what you had to do was you had to get the SuperCard program for your PC. You would take the game that you want to then put on your card.
When we say game, we mean legitimate homebrew, not the stuff
There's
from
homebrew
BitTorrent.
games. I've got
Right.
Breakout,
Which-
Scum VM, of course.
That's
Gotta do
what's
Scum
up.
VM. So you'd have to take that. You'd have to run it through the SuperCard program, which would then put another version of it onto your card. Like you
Right, the
put it through a
cross-compiling.
launcher.
Right, because there was the R3 and the R4 or something like that.
There's the
forget what they
R4
were.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards.
There was a lot of different cards, and if you got homebrew, you'd have to recompile it almost for your different card.
Every
Oh, what a
card
pain.
manufacturer back in the day would have their own program to bend the files to their whim. Now, you don't have to do that. Now you just copy the .nds file over to whatever folder you like on your Ace
Okay.
card, and you're good to go.
All right.
So when you boot it up, you can see you have this lovely little menu here, and depending on whose thing you're running here, sometimes they have very pretty little pictures to
Okay.
show you what game they're playing.
So under games. So what do we have? Let's test out some homebrew. What are you playing lately?
One of the things that I want to show off is this thing called Shooting Watch DS. Way back in the day, there was this gamer for Hudson called, his nickname was 16 Shot, because he could shoot 16 times a second. So he was like the ultimate.
With a light gun or with a
No,
pistol?
no, like in Mega Man, if you were allowed more than 3 shots on the screen, he could shoot that many
okay.
times per second.
Gotcha.
So his nickname was 16 Shot, and they released this game trying to, it's like a training game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are hardcore, you can boot up this sucker here, which is gorgeous. Like, there's a lot of homebrew titles that look really homebrew.
Yeah.
This looks really pro. There's all kinds of different versions, different ways of testing yourself.
Oh, all right.
Very, very pretty. So yeah, and this kind of uses a lot of Hudson Soft's assets here.
I'm sure that they paid royalties
Oh,
somewhere
yes,
along
totally.
the line.
So basically, if you think you're hardcore, prove it. This has a ranking system,
Uh-huh.
and you can see how many times you can shoot in a second. You can race against the clock.
Okay, start it up. I gotta see. I'm not quite getting it, so go ahead.
All right.
All right, what are we gonna shoot here?
What they're having is a melon here, and what they're going to show you is, so you see how you can test, and it's measuring how many seconds have expired, how many times you've pressed the button, and SPS, shots per second.
This is actually no, Jen. We have special controllers that have macro buttons and a little dial that you turn to put it into rapid fire. Are you serious that there's a homebrew to test how fast you can press a button?
Absolutely.
All right, okay. I thought
It
we were
sounds
going to go
silly.
something useful. There is actual useful
Useful.
Nintendo DS homebrew. I know because
yeah.
I've played with it. There's war driving stuff. There's IRC.
There's IRC, there's Scum VM, there's 8 billion emulators.
There's everything, yeah, so.
Lemmings is a Lemmings level editor these days.
There you go. That's what's up.
Tons and tons of stuff you can do with DS Homebrew.
Excellent. So you've got all this written up so that if, you know, so that somebody could follow along at home if they've got a DSi XL.
Step-by-step instructions for the Ace card specifically. I have not tested too many other cards that work on the XL yet, but I'm sure that more will be coming out in the future. Excellent.
Now, before we get going, I do have to ask you, what is with the collection? This is are they spawning new ones? You leave them in a closet at night?
Styluses and accessories. Styli. When you get the XL, nice catch. When you get the XL, of course, you have the stylus that comes out of the thing. But because the XL was initially designed for older gamers in Japan, they also include this huge honkin' pen that looks just like a pen.
Yeah.
So that's nice and thick. And then just for comparison, grab that sucker out again. So this is the XL. This is the Lite. So you can see that it's a little bit shorter, but about the same thickness. So not a big difference there. But back with the Lite and the original, I was getting annoyed by how small the pen was when I was enjoying long play sessions that use the touchscreen. Yeah, I gotta know how good you are at that. So this is my my DSiXL one, as you can see, and then the Piplup one because I'm obsessed with Piplup. And even though this thing is ridiculously top heavy, it's actually not bad to use because it's nice and long for my hand. Okay. So yeah, I love accessories, and this is actually a fraction of the different stylus or styli, as you said.
There we go.
That I have.
Well, Jen, I got 16 shots per second.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No, I got 14 in carpal tunnel instantly.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Of course, people can find more of the stuff that you do over at openalpha.tv.
Openalpha.tv.
Excellent. Thanks so much. And for the show notes on this or any other segment that you've seen here today, head over to hacks5.org. Verizon Droid apps have access to every tool the phone has, including the compass, GPS, accelerometer, video player, image capture, all of it. The power of the Android apps allow you to run them in the background for multitasking, give background notifications, and enhance each other's performance. Verizon's dominant network and 3G coverage create an unparalleled mobile data solution to keep you connected to the web and allow you to run heavy, data-rich features anytime, anywhere. And with the ever-expanding Android market, you'll always be able to quickly download apps you need to get the most out of your Droid. See droiddoes.com to learn more. You guys have likely seen this machine on Hak5 before. Yes, it's the Nokia Booklet 3G, with 12 hours of battery life, always on 3G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, running Windows 7, and we're pleased to announce that this gift from our friends over Nokia can be yours. That's right, we're giving away the Sirius Aluminum Ultra Portable. We're holding a random drawing from our YouTube and Twitter subscribers between now and May 31st at 5 p.m. We'll announce the winner on our June 9th episode, and this means that you could double your chances of winning this if you just subscribe to twitter.com/hak5 and youtube.com/hak5. Furthermore, there are 4 other shows on Revision 3 that are doing the same drawing. So you can go ahead and find those, follow them, and, you know, if you're really lucky, win all 5. There's a lot more details that you can find over at revision3.com/Nokia contest. Good luck.
If you've got the technolust, like Jimmy from Sweden with his Hak5ified server rack, very cool. Make sure to email us over at feedback@hak5.org with your pictures. Also, remember, you can support the show free, fast, and easy by subscribing on iTunes or YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook for all of your Hak5 news and info. And if you're looking for some brand new Hak5 swag, be sure to check out the newly refreshed Hack Packs over at hak5.org/shop. These new Hak5 patches look awesome on everything from work t-shirts to gadget bags. And awesomely cool, next week Darren is going to be on the show in studio with me. Until next time, I'm Shannon Morse. Trust your technolust.
Where did you want the monkey?
I can hold him throughout the entire show. Trust your technolust. Trust your technolust. Sing with me. Sing it. Oh.
The monkey.
Darren. Synchronizes folders between Windows, Macs.
Possibly still be female.
No, great.
What? You
Let's
don't? No radioactiveness? What's wrong with the radioactive set? It's like Slimer just puked up in here. It's great. All right, we'll find a better color.
If you've got the technolust. If you've got the technolust, like Jim from Sweden,